Hello, how you doing? It's Christmas. It's not really Christmas, it's like the 16th of December, but when you're watching this, it's almost Christmas. In Christmas time, you tend to eat lots of Christmassy things that are not usually eaten all year round. Things like Yule logs, which is like a chocolate cake that's designed like a log. What else do you not eat? I mean, I said that thinking that loads of things come to mind, but they don't. But one of the things that comes to mind is mince pies. If you are not British, I am not aware if mince pies exist in any other country as a Christmas thing. I said that while standing on one leg. So, mince pies are what I am aware of as a very British thing, possibly even a very Scottish thing. I'm not too sure if it's British or Scottish. I know it's Scotland and Britain. The British are somewhere screaming that at me. I know, right, but you know what I mean. English, Welsh, fucking Scottish, I don't know what they are. I just know we have them, right? So, they're basically little pies, wee pies, and they're not filled with beef or pork or anything as mince would suggest. They're filled with like currants and raisins and cranberries and orange and fruit, general fruit. The other thing that they tend to have in them is booze. Now, I don't drink, and even if I did drink, or even when I did drink, I always felt as if alcohol kind of ruined the taste of some stuff, especially those chocolate truffles. You get chocolate truffles and they've got rum in them, and you think to yourself, what's the point in that? Anyway, so the mince pies tend to have rum, cognac, brandy, something like that in them. People make mincemeat traditionally at the start of December. They keep their mincemeat for so many weeks and then they make their pies with it. I think it tends to be the longer you leave it, the better they taste, but not too long because the stuff will go off, obviously. Anyway, long story boring, we're going to make mince pies. So we're going to make boozeless mince pies, and we're going to make cranberry mince pie. So it's going to be primarily cranberries, mostly because raisins can get a bit boring this time of year because they're in fucking everything, and I think cranberries are quite nice. So we're going to make cranberry one. What I'll do is I will film the first part of this video, which is making the actual mince meat, and then we'll make another part where we make the pastry and we make the little pies. So that'll probably be in a week's time. So today's the 16th of December, it is a Monday, so I'll probably make these on Friday. So we'll make them, we'll film it, we'll put it up as fast as we can, we'll see how it goes. Whatever, that's information that you don't need to know. Let's just make some mince pies. Okay, so as per the microwave coated dumpling video, I am trying to be professional as possible and have things laid out in bowls to tell you what they all are. 75 grams of soft dark brown sugar. You're going to need 4 tablespoons or 1/4 cup of red grape juice, 150 grams of fresh cranberries, 3 or 4 teaspoons of cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of mixed spice, 2 packed tablespoons of mixed fruit and 2 packed tablespoons of dried cranberries. That's mixed fruit, that's cranberries. The zest and juice of 1 clementine, some vanilla extract to which we will use 1/4 of a tablespoon apparently, but we're probably just going to drop a bit in because fuck measuring that, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of honey. Now you may see that is not honey, that's golden syrup. I don't have honey, and the honey is primarily to sweeten it if it needs sweetened, and nothing sweetens things quite like golden syrup. Buddha, I'm currently talking, must you? Can't Buddha? Can you take your argument with the door to your bed, please? Thank you very much. Alright, so we know what ingredients we need to have. We have them all in bowls like a semi-professional, and what we're going to do now is very unprofessionally get the recipe from my phone and do it as we read, because I've never done this before, and I really need the recipe, I'll be honest with you. I'm not professional enough to like read it remember it and turn around and go, so we need these things, like I understand this recipe. This is a Nigella Lawson recipe as well, who is a very attractive female chef in the UK. If you don't know who she is, Google her, you'll be very pleased. She does a boozy one, and this is the non-boozy one, as I've already mentioned. My sister-in-law, who is a very talented, beautiful person, she bakes a lot. She's got a video somewhere online of her making bagels, which if you want to see, I'll link below. But she, it's not bagels, it's pretzels. Anyway, she does Nigella Lawson's recipe for mincemeat all the time, and she loves it, but with booze. This is without booze. Anyway, moving on, what you're supposed to do is dissolve the sugar with the grape juice. So we'll do that now. So that's my grape juice. Now this is to be on a medium heat. So if you watched my microwave coated dumpling video, you'll know that I have no fucking idea how to use my cooker yet. So is it a medium heat? Is it not? Guess as good as mine really. Treated myself to a wee spatula at IKEA when I was doing some home stuff. So we'll use that. I mean, dark soft brown sugar dissolves pretty fast, so I don't imagine there'll be much to this. If you've never experienced dark brown sugar before in your life, I highly recommend that you get some just to play with, because it's like kinetic sand. It's great. I would say that's dissolved. So next it says to add the fresh cranberries, cinnamon, mixed spice, all the dried fruits, the zest and juice, and then bring to a moderate simmer. So let's do that. So essentially everything else other than the honey or syrup in my case and the vanilla is everything you put in now, so we'll do that. So that's my spices. Shove my cranberries in. Everything is pre-washed, by the way, like wash your fruit before you zest it or use it, obviously. All these fresh cranberries will burst soon and give off tons of juice, which is what we want. For their liquid. So that's my dried fruits in, and this is very little juice and zest, but I did my best. So this is a clementine, right? Very small. It's like a tangerine, right? That's what we're working with. I do not have a zester. I just don't. So I had a look online, and somewhere online it says, oh, you know, you should use a vegetable peeler. That'll work. And I was like, great, I've got a vegetable peeler. We'll try that. And that didn't work. Look at this poor tangerine. Well, clementine. That's what happened when I tried to use a vegetable peeler. That obviously didn't work. So in the end, I grated it on this and then squeezed the shit out of it. I did my best with what I had. That is what it is. I can only ask you to do the same. If you don't have a squeezer or you don't have a zester, just do your best. See if you can't use oranges, fuck a bit of orange juice in it. But is it really going to make that much of a difference, really? I don't think it is. Anyway, let's put this up. Why have you locked yourself? See this fucking cooker? Oh my god, I hate you so much, cooker. I hate you so much. Right, are we on now? Are we playing games? Is this what's happening? This cooker has been sent to test me. Me and my resolve. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to win this fight. Because I'm going to replace the fucker. So, this is what it looks like. It's very unexciting. Nothing really much happening right now. All we're doing is we're going to stir it until it heats up. When it starts to heat up, what will happen is, hopefully, anyway, is all the cranberries will start to burst. But, I mean, are you even on? It's at 5. I fucking hate this cooker. I think I'll just call this video the Watch Sue Hulk struggle with a cooker for 25 minutes. Okay, so at this stage it says to bring to a moderate simmer and cook for 10 minutes, stirring and pressing gently until the fresh cranberries have burst and the mixture is fragrant, thick and a coarse paste with only a little liquid left. So that's what we'll do. We will just stir this and then we'll use the back of this to try and push down any cranberries that may be close to squishable. So part of this recipe calls for a jar for this stuff to be put in, a clean jar. You don't really have to use a jar. I actually have a jar that I've just washed, hence why it's wet. So I might put it in this, but realistically if I didn't have a jar I would just put it in like a sealable tub so that it's nice and fresh. We've fully got some squishy juicy action. So if I do that, can you see some of the cranberries being all squished to bits? Oh, it's exciting. It's all happening now. So we just all get that one. That was a good one. Fully squished. Oh, that's a new way. Push it against the sides. That's genius. That's working so much faster. Happy days. There's all this cinnamon at the top of this, I really want to get that off. All the cranberries keep popping and it's very satisfying. It's almost like that stuff that you pop. Bubble wrap. It's almost like bubble wrap, popping these against. Pop. Pop. So my camera battery just died. I don't know how much you saw. When was the last thing I said that you heard? So, just to repeat myself, this is a paste to me. I think this is reduced enough because when I put it on the spatula, it drops like that rather than running. There's no sauce to it. It's saucy, but there's no running sauce. And that's what I think I'm looking for. I say I think because I've never done this before, but we'll find out when we actually make the pies. So the next step was to take it off the heat, which I have done, and to put in the vanilla. So let's do that now. I recommend measuring the vanilla. I can't be bothered, so I'm just going to pour about that much in and give it a really good stir. I mean, it smells so Christmassy. It smells so nice. This is where the honey or syrup comes in my case, because I need to try a bit of this and if it's sweet enough or not sweet enough. If it's not sweet enough, then the golden syrup goes in until it's sweet enough. So yeah, let's give it a wee go. It is sweet, but in a cranberry way. It's not sweet in a sweet way. So we'll shove some golden syrup in it and see where we go for there. Now I'm concerned because it is starting to get saucy again, which is not what I wanted. So I might put the heat on that just for a wee bit. That's much better. It's sweet enough now, and all I need to do now is reduce it further because I've added liquid to it. So you can see it's a lot runnier now, it's a lot saucier now. So I'm just going to reduce this a little bit more and then we should be done. Right, whatever. I'm not going to look at it because if I look at it then it'll just annoy me. Yeah, so taste the mincemeat, add the honey if it's not sweet enough, store in a very clean jar, and once cool, refrigerate for 2 weeks. So this can be refrigerated for 2 weeks, but we're not going to do that, we're going to refrigerate it for about 4 days. For the pastry for these tarts, it says it recommends a ground almond short crust pastry, and I'm almost positive it recommends that to me because I've never made that and it's just trying to piss me off. But that's fine, we'll make the fucking almond short crust pastry and we'll see what happens. Once this bitch is done what it's doing, I'll show you me putting it in the jar, and yeah, I'll film this in a couple of days. So it's back to a dropping consistency again. It's not so saucy anymore. Yeah, that's perfect. That is what I think I'm looking for. Again, this is my glass jar. If you don't have one of these, use a tub. really doesn't matter. So all I'm going to do is just start pouring this in here very fucking gently, because I've not got body strength and I'm very weak and I don't want to smash this. Okay, that is all in there now. I have a jam full of mincemeat. Now we have our mincemeat. I will be back in like 3 seconds for you, but for me it'll be like 3 days. So see you in 3 days. Hello again. It has been 3 days. 4 days. It's been 4 days since I made my mincemeat, and I am here now to make pastry and to get these pies in the oven. If you can hear tons of noise, that is my oven preheating and an electric fan over there, because it is freezing in this house, because my boiler was condemned because the person that lived here filled the boiler with silicone for whatever reason they did that. I don't know. Anyway, it's freezing in here, so that's what all the noise is. I've no makeup on, I've been at work all day. I really just have to get this filmed, so apologies right now for the state of this and the noise. But anyway, let's get to making pastry. So I am using a recipe on the BBC Good Food website, bbcgoodfood.com, and I'm going to follow that as I go, because I have no memory, so I need to follow as I go. So we have clean hands, obviously, and we need to put flour and butter in. So the flour is 375 grams, which seems like a ton of flour, but who am I to argue? It's plain flour we're using, so 375, 300, and how is that sprinkled 4 grams? Right, okay, whatever. Put that back in there. Right, okay, that'll do. That's 373. We need 260 grams of softened butter. So I'm just using Lurpak spreadable because it's kind of soft. So you guys have seen this before. All you do is rub the flour and the butter together until it makes like sort of breadcrumb consistencies. My hands are clean. I do have nail polish on, it's probably not great, but I'm gonna eat them, so whatever. So all you do is you get your hands in here and you start smooshing. Really, that's about it. Sorry for the really weird angle, but I can't help it. There's nothing else I can do. After this, we'll add caster sugar and 1 large egg. And that's it. The pastry is made. Now you're supposed to do pastry when it's cold, like you sort of roll it out when it's cold and stuff, so I'm quite lucky in the sense that I have no heating or hot water, because this is fantastic for the pastry. Nothing else, but it's fantastic for pastry. I'm not sure that that is enough flour, because I can bind this now into a dough. Look. See? Almost a dough. I mean, that is a dough. Right, I'm going to add more flour because that doesn't seem right to me. I'm going to put my flour. Because we still have to add an egg to this, so I don't know how much that was, but we'll go with that for now. Because this is supposed to be a breadcrumb consistency, it's not supposed to be a dough. So far we are not doing well, guys. We are not doing well. The other option is we put the sugar in now, we put the egg in, and we see what happens, and then add more flour as we go. That might be a good idea, because right now it actually looks like active yeast. If this doesn't work, we'll try again with different butters, because I actually have to have other butter. That is bizarre, isn't it? Right, okay, let's just try adding the sugar and the egg and see where we go. So sugar is 125 grams of caster sugar, which you're supposed to put in once it's become the consistency of breadcrumbs. But we're not going to get that at this stage, so we're going to just combine that a little bit I think because it got into a dough and now I've added more flour, it's not going to go to breadcrumbs. If anything, it's going to go to this sort of flaky shit. We'll sit with this just now. We'll add an egg and then we'll add flour and see where we go. Put that there for now, and then we'll just smush this together, see what it looks like when we do that. Try and mush it as much with our hands so that we're actually combining it all. And then if it's really wet, all we'll do is we'll just add flour. But I'm trying to actually squeeze it between my fingers to actually get the flakes away and make it into a dough. If I could keep some of it in the bowl, that would also be quite good. I think I would like that. But I don't know how well I'm going to do. You know, I think we might have saved it. I suppose the proof will be in the actual baking, but when I rip it apart like that, it's not so much big bits anymore, it is almost a dough. You're not really supposed to overwork it, but I think this stuff actually does need overwork just a little bit, more than I should. I don't know if you can see this, but if I snap this in half now, it's not big bits, it's actually stretching like a dough, so I think it should be fine. Right, so we're going to cling film this bitch and then we're going to put it in the fridge. I'm going to go wash my hands in cold water because I have no hot water. Buddha, could you not? I'd appreciate that. I don't know what you're looking at, son. We're just going to cling film it and put it in the fridge to rest. .10 minutes. So some time has passed. I rethought the pastry and I made some other pastry. The pastry that I've made is this pastry. We'll use both and we'll see what happens. So this pastry did go into breadcrumbs, then I added the sugar and the egg and it made a dough. So what we're going to do is use both pastries. So we'll try this one, which turned out like crumbs. We'll try the other one, which went into a kind of flaky dough that was a bit messed up. We'll try both, we'll see what happens. That'll be a good indication then to know that if you ever make pastry and it turns out into flakes, whether or not you can still use that dough. Be a good experiment. So let's go ahead and try and make some mince pies. So here is the mince meat that we made originally, and I went ahead and made another batch. So we have 2 batches of the same mince meat because I plan on making quite a few mince pies. So the next step after making the pastry and making it chill for 10 minutes is to, I'm using my phone to check, is to roll the pastry to 3mm thick, and then you cut out a 10cm disc which creates the base, and then you put the mincemeat in. So that seems fairly simple. I have a rolling pin that I've just bought the other day there, and it's got the edges on it so you can actually see how thick you're rolling the pastry. That's all good and well, but I only get the option of 2mm or 4mm and then 6 upwards basically. So I'm going to make 4mm pastry, even though it's asked for 3. I think that 2mm would be too thin and 4mm probably going to be too thick, but that's fine, I don't mind. We get our dough, we flour our surface, we'll roll it out and then we'll cut circles. So we'll do that now. Before I start, I also have these which I plan on using to cut the pies and the lids. I'm doing this at a really horrible angle and I'm really sorry for that. There's not much else I can really do. Yeah, there's not really much else I can do with this kitchen. It's a big kitchen, but it's not a great place for angles. So I'll zoom in a little bit and then we'll go for there. Now, this pastry is obviously like really cold because it's been in the fridge. It's also primarily butter, so it's really hard. So it's going to take a while to actually roll. When it's really tough, I like to push it down with the rolling pin to start flatten it a little bit. It's starting to stick to my rolling pin. If you are like me and you've no upper body strength, this can be difficult. It's quite a crumbly pastry, but we can only do what we can do. So you can see I'm actually getting there. It's not too bad. I think that is 10 centimetres. What do you think? Don't know if we're using it anyway. And then I'm not going to get a bit out of that, so I'm going to put that to the side. And I'm going to put that to the side. And we're going to continue on. I'm going to just put these cut-offs to the side, and then I'm going to smush them together and make lids out of this. Okay, so these are going to be the actual pie. So it looks big there, but when it goes into the case it won't be. So the lid I'm going to put on that is going to be this size here. And I'm going to do the crimped side because I think it'll be cute to have a wee crimped lid, because that's the kind of person I am. So I'm just going to make a wee stack of these crimped lids, and then I'm going to go upstairs and see the wardrobes that my husband has just built. Okay, I am back. My wardrobes are built, they are beautiful, and I'm going to continue making pies. So I'm going to close this over in case anyone's got that weird phobia of holes and stuff. And I'm just going to show you me making a couple of these, and then what I'll do is make the rest and then put them in the oven, because there's no point in you watching me make like 24. You can just see what I do for a couple of them, and then we'll go from there, because that makes sense. It's saving time, saving my time and yours. Okay, so the next instructions on this says to put the discs in a muffin tin, put 1.5 tablespoons of the mincemeat mixture into it, brush the edge with beaten egg, put on the lid, put more beaten egg on it, caster sugar. Okay, that's fine. So I am going to try and put this into this one. I'm not too sure how it's going to go, and personally what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray a little bit of fat in this, just a little bit of like oil, just so this doesn't stick. I'm just using this sort of like local stuff. So give that a wee scoosh. That's what I would do anyway. That's personally what I would do. It doesn't say that, but I just think it just adds a wee bit of extra, you know. So I'm just going to put my thumb into the middle of it like this and just push up around the edges, and then place it into the dish. So that you're really far away, you probably didn't see any of that, so I'm going to move you forward. That disc seems a bit big to fit in there because I have this overlap, but that's fine. What I'll do next then is all I'm doing is pressing the edges, by the way, into the actual pie dish itself there, just to make it nice and flush. And then what I might do is run over this with the 2mm, maybe it's a bit too thick, but we tried. So let's get our mincemeat. It says tablespoon, but I'm going to use a teaspoon because I'm using the small muffin tray and I'm not too sure whether or not it's all going to fit. So I'm using a heaped teaspoon, which looks like this, and all I'm going to do is plonk it in. So I would say it takes, personally that's probably 2 heaped teaspoons that I've put in that. So that is as filled as I am going to make that. It's just touching the top and no more. It's not overflowing or anything, but when it heats up, all the juice is going to come out and it's going to bubble up, and I don't want that to overflow. So that to me seems good, and that was roughly 2 almost heaped teaspoons. So we're going to get an egg on our wee brush, and we're going to just basically egg the top like so, like so. Then you're going to get your lid, and you're going to pop your lid on top. Now it looks like that. Smashing. And then we're going to egg wash this. Like so. And then we're going to take a wee bit of caster sugar. I'm going to take mine in my hand so I can control it. and I'm literally just going to dust the top of it like so. See? And that is one mince pie ready to go in the oven. So I'm going to do that. Hello. I'm going to do that another 24 times. I'm crouching rather than touching the camera because I've got stuff all over my hands. But I'm going to do that another 24 times, got 2 of these tins. I will show you the tins before they go in the oven, and then we'll put them in the oven. Cool, see you soon. Okay, I'm back, but change of plan, right? So I've now used a 2mm bit on the rolling pin, and I've used a smaller cutter, and I'm getting ones like this, and this, and these. They all fit in a lot better, but they don't go all the way to the top. But I'd rather that than have this fold. So I'm just showing you where I'm at. That's what I've done. I've changed it to 2mm and a smaller cutter. So far it's looking good. And I'm actually going to put 12 in at a time. So I'll be back in 2 minutes when I've filled all this. So I'm almost done this set, so I'm just going to show you me finishing it off. I've actually had to move on to my other mincemeat that I made because I ran out of the stuff in the jar. It's the same recipe right enough, so it shouldn't really make a difference. But with the new 2mm pastry and the smaller frame, it's about 1 level teaspoon worth of mincemeat that can go in. But you'll know yourself, depending on the pastry that you make, depending on the tin you've got, how much mincemeat you can get in. You're basically looking to have enough that it's not going to overflow. But for me personally, this has given me about 1 teaspoon worth. So I hope that big description helps. I know it doesn't, but I hope it does. Egg washing. Right, smashing. Put the wee lids on, again, reduce the lids to, I'm telling you lies, look at these two have got lids now. I've reduced the lids to the 2mm as well. I'm just going to roll out this wee bit that's sitting here to get my last 2 lids. I've accidentally put sauce all over them, but it's fine. Is anyone really going to judge me for it? I mean, if they do I really care? Okay, that one's a bit hash bash anyway. It's a bit deformed looking, but that's fine. We're okay with deformed cakes here. So we're going to just egg wash tops of all the pies that are left. Then we get our sugar. And I'm just going to pour some sugar on. I mean, I'm pouring it everywhere other than top of the pies, but that's fine. And then we'll just do that for some good luck. So now that you've poured sugar everywhere and you've put lids on all the pies and they're all egg washed and they're all sugared and all that kind of stuff, what you're supposed to do next is poke a small hole in the tops of all the pies. So let's do that now. Pop, 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 pop. That's a thick boy. Now, these go in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes, and your oven has to be preheating at 220 degrees or 200 degrees if you've got a fan oven, or gas mark 7. That constant beeping is my induction hob that I hate, but it's just testing me, and you know what, I'm going to win. I'm going to win this fight, it'll be alright. So this is going to go in the oven now, and I'll see you in 15-20 minutes. Okay, so I am back. These pies have cooked. These are the first lot that's went in. I've since made these sort of wee pasties. There's another lot the exact same as this in the oven just now. So this is what you're left with. Just wee pies. These were obviously the ones that I started with the sort of bigger pastry. If you want a deeper pie, obviously use a bigger cut, a bigger circle, and if you want a smaller pie, use a smaller circle. Marcus is very angry. He's been building too much furniture. He's just breaking down the cardboard, he's not like, you know. So, mince pies. So what you can do is get ice and sugar, sprinkle that on top for decoration and to hide in a little bit if you want to hide. These took exactly 15 minutes in the oven. They are cooked to perfection and all the bottoms are cooked as well, so they're not soggy or anything, they're all actually cooked. Also, yeah, I really need to get my nails done, apologies for that. So, another thing you can do is, when you're cutting the circles for the actual pie, another thing you can do is make sort of little pasties, which is what I've done here. So that one's a bad example because that one burst. So same idea again, you basically cut your circle and then you put a little bit of mincemeat in the middle, you fold it over to make a little pasty, put egg wash on top, put sugar on top and cook for 15 minutes. It's basically the same idea but something a little bit different. If you don't fancy having little pies, you can have little pasties. I just thought they were kind of cute. I made these pasties with the dough that we had first made, which was the stuff that went flaky, that I couldn't get into a crumb. It rolled out fine, it didn't melt at all, and you can see it works just fine. It hasn't split, no oil or anything came out from the butter or anything, so it works fairly well. So it's good to know that even if your pastry doesn't go into crumbs, it's still usable. It might be because it's freezing in here, it might just be a fluke, but it also might be just fine to use, so don't worry. So thank you for coming to see me making mince pies and sort of mince pasty kind of things. I've really enjoyed actually making these. These are the first thing that I've fully baked in my kitchen. I made the clouty dumpling, but I made it in the microwave, so it's not really baking. So these are the first thing that I've actually made, and it was really fun. I really liked it. If you did enjoy watching this video, please consider liking and subscribing, or even leaving a comment. I read and like most of my comments, if not all of the comments. I try to reply to as many comments as possible. Sometimes there's too many and I can't, but I do aim to reply to quite a lot of them. If you would like to consider supporting me in any way, shape or form, I have a Patreon and I also have my own merch. Both of those will be linked below. If you don't want to do any of that and you don't like these videos and all that kind of stuff and you're still here, then hats off to you. Hello, I'm sorry you don't like my content. I understand. So yeah, thanks again. I'll stop talking now and I wish you all a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. If you make these mince pies and give them to friends and you like them and stuff, let me know. I'd love to know. Anyway, yeah, Merry Christmas to you all and yeah, all the best. Bye! I tried to zest the clementine with a vegetable peeler because the internet told me it didn't work.
No,
No.
You don't do that.
Well, I just grated the absolute living fuck out of it and then squeezed all the juice out by hand. We don't have a juicer either. Nor we do.
One.
And a zester.
Zester.
So this one turned into breadcrumbs and we'll use this one and we'll also, there's that beeping that my induction cooker does sometimes to say just around me. And there goes my phone. Oh my god. Right. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did enjoy watching Bronson.